We're out in the yard. Yes, very big. We're talking about effort today. So, people go to failure, right? The big boys, the lifters, they know. Going to failure will get them that monstrous gains. It will let them put in the effort they want to put in. And going as far as you can will give you the best gains, right? Well, there's this guy on YouTube, Dr. Mike Esvital, very knowledgeable, very well known. And he is very supportive of the RP system or the effort system, which basically means you keep a few reps in reserve, you keep a few reps in the tank, and this might be scientifically accurate, but I think if you're a natural lifter or just a lifter in general, and you want the most gains, you gotta go to failure, bro. You're gonna go to failure. You're gonna go to beyond failure, because honestly, it's boring to keep reps in the tank. I think powerlifting is kind of boring. Unless you're doing like 1 rep maxes. Like bro, you're doing like RP8 on bench for 5 sets. Like cool that you have strength and you're getting very strong, but that's really fucking boring. I think especially as a man or as a lifter, you get just like this feeling from putting in effort. And if you're just like not even putting maximum effort in your sets, like you're holding back. And well, science may say, "Ooh, not going to complete failure will give you a better stimulus to fatigue." I think that unless you're doing something exercise that is dangerous to go to failure on this totally worth like a deadlift, like that's when stimulus to fatigue actually exists. Like, come on, bro, like you gotta go to failure to get the best results. Your body knows it. When you did a hard set, your body feels completed. It feels maybe fatigued, but you feel like you put in the effort. You feel like, yes, this set is gonna make me grow, and that's just the truth. And often I see the known lifters, they know they have to go to failure, but often with newbies that have been going for a year, I see them, I'm not getting progress, and they're not going to failure, and I'm like, okay, maybe it can be difficult for beginners to go to failure. Maybe it's too hard for them. Maybe they don't have the work capacity or something like that. Like, okay, but like, come on, bro, try it. Just force yourself to go to failure for 1 set. See what happens. See how your muscles feel the next day. See how you feel after completing that set. And you're gonna tell me that's not better for muscle growth? Like, people just don't realize, like the novices just don't realize that this simple slight change of just going harder, they get so much better results, but they have like not been told. They're like, oh yes, exercise. I just moved the barbell a couple reps and this is kind of tiring, I'll just drop the weight. Like, bro, come on. It's like pathetic, but like some of them actually want to put in the effort, they just don't realize it's optimal. They just don't realize they need to go further. They don't realize it's possible, and I think it's very, very valuable for trainees to learn early on to train to failure, because the biggest problem I see is that people don't realize what failure is. They think if they can't move the weight, their brain stops them from moving the weight, they're done. But I mean, it sounds kind of cringe, but your muscles can do way more than your brain might realize at the start. You're gonna think you're not capable of a lot, and it's gonna hold you back. And I think in the beginning, the mental to muscle ratio of actually putting in the effort is quite a noticeable thing. So, if you're a beginner, you have to realize that your muscle and body is capable of a lot more, and that going to failure, going to the edge, becoming more uncomfortable will actually give you to the better results and better work capacity. And eventually, I mean, failure is pretty much nothing to me. I can sustain that sets very well. Before, sometimes I would actually get nauseous. Like, what? Get nauseous? And I would be sweating more, and I would be breathing heavily. But now it's like way less effort for me. The only exercise that really still fuck me up sometimes is like squats and maybe like deadlift. But I mean, those are the big boy movements that you might want to keep actually a rep in reserve, because they take so much muscles and they actually take the nervous system a lot. That's the only reason where it could ever be maybe applicable. And then still, if you can do it without harming yourself, without fucking your nervous system up too much, I would still recommend it. So yeah, nervous system is usually bullshit. So you should train harder. Let's go.
get the results.